It's time for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Ticket presents the Dodgers as they take on the Colorado Rockies. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Friday evening to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Dodger Stadium in Game 2 of the 4-game series with the Rockies. Dodgers winning last night. Just think about it. On June the 21st, the Dodgers lost. They were 12 games under 500, 9.5 games behind Arizona. On June the 22nd, the Dodgers won, and they've continued to do just that. They've won 16 out of 19. They've won 13 out of 15 against Western Division teams, and when they take the field tonight, they'll have a 5-game winning streak. They've also balanced their books against the Rockies. They have split 10. On the mound for the Dodgers tonight, their all-star left-hander, that would be Clayton Kershaw, with the unbelievable earned run average of 1.8. Despite the fact his record is 8-5, he is a 3-game winner in a row against Colorado. Beat him once this year, a shutout, and that's something, at Coors Field. And he is 8-4 lifetime. Right-hander Juan Nicasio, just called up from the minors, will be on the mound for the Rockies. Though we'll have the ball game and a whole lot more coming up right after this. To you by the Hyundai 100,000 Reasons event, now through July 31st. By AT&T UVerse TV. Check availability at 1-800-PIC-ATT. And by Jack in the Box. Go big at a Jack in the Box near you with Jack's new Big Stack Burger.
Minutes away from first pitch on a beautiful night for baseball. Game 2 of 4, Dodgers and the Rockies to start off the weekend. Patrick O'Neill alongside Steve Lyons. Steve, there are some teams in baseball that show up to the park thinking, how are we going to win with this lineup? For the Dodgers, they're thinking, how are we going to lose with this lineup?
It's a great feeling to have when you come to the ballpark and you know you're going to win. I mean, you laugh and smile much more easily. You can't wait to get to the ballpark. You're just trying to get this game started so that you can go beat up on another team. You don't even care who shows up. You feel like you have an excellent chance of beating them, and you're having so much fun during the game.
Clayton Kershaw on the hill. Last time he faced the Rockies in Colorado, a 4-hit shutout, Steve, but this is a different Rockies lineup. Might not be as easy.
Yeah, I mean, they've got Fowler back in the lineup, Tulowitzki back in the lineup, some bigger guns that he's going to have to deal with. But think about this. In his last 3 games that he's won, his ERA is 1.08. Opposing batters are hitting a .133. That's ugly. 18 strikeouts, just 2 walks. He does not walk people. He does not hurt himself.
Leads the National League in ERA, opponent's batting average, and whip after tonight, innings pitched. Kershaw on the hill, and Vince Scully with the call. Next.
Gorgeous summer's evening here in Los Angeles, and the prospects of another dandy ball game between the Dodgers and the Rockies. The Dodgers and Rockies have played 10, and they have split the 10 evenly. By the way, tonight is the salute to Japanese American Community Night in conjunction with the Nisei Week Foundation, and we are truly honored to have with us 3 very special Japanese American war veterans. Don Seki from Honolulu. He was a rifleman in the legendary 442nd Regimental Combat Team. He served in Italy and France. James Ogawa from Sacramento. He was a rifleman in the 100th Battalion, fighting in Italy, France, and Germany. And finally, Hitoshi Samashima, who was born and raised in Pasadena, served in the military intelligence service during World War II as a prisoner of war interrogator in the Philippines. And in our best Japanese as possible, we would say, Domo arigato gozaimashita, or thank you so very much. Well, we're about ready to go. Walt Weiss and his ball club is here, and we'll take a look at Walt's lineup, and it reads this way. Dexter Fowler leads off in center field. B.J. LeMahieu will be at second base. Then you have the great Carlos Gonzalez in left field. Troy Tulowitzki at short. Willen Rosario behind the plate. Jordan Pacheco takes over at first base for Todd Helton tonight. Charlie Blackmon will be in right field. Nolan Arenado, the third baseman, and Juan Nicasio on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, Clayton Kershaw with an unbelievable earned run average of 1.8. The first question is, how do you ever lose a game when you have an earned run average of 1.8? Well, somehow he's lost 5. He is 8-5. He's won his last 3 starts. And here against Colorado, he is 4-1. Lifetime 8-4. The one time that Clayton Kershaw pitched against Colorado this year was in Coors Field in Denver, and he was so good he pitched a shutout, which is rare indeed. So he's ready now. Daddy Longlegs up there at the plate, Dexter Fowler, and he takes high, ball 1. Fowler, a Georgia boy, 6'4", 185. Covers a lot of ground, which is why he's so successful in Denver. Swings, fouls the next one back, and the count 1-1. A gorgeous time of day. The temperature 75 degrees. Almost a perfect blue canopy overhead. Just a couple of wispy clouds way off in the left. So 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Dexter Fowler. Into the windup goes Clayton. Back he comes with a breaking ball low, and the count 2-1. Ducking an early score. Milwaukee 1, Arizona 1, second inning. Patrick Corbin 10-1 on the mound for Arizona. Fastball is swung on and missed. Corbin allowed a run, but the Diamondbacks got it right back. Guess who? Paul Goldschmidt picked up his 77th run batted in. So they're 1-1, and we're just starting. Fowler, LeMahieu, and Gonzalez. Back comes Kershaw, works low, and that runs the count all the way. So 3-2 to Fowler. Among other things, Dexter runs very well. Has stolen as many as 27 in the big leagues. Kershaw, both feet on the rubber, looks down to get a sign from his buddy A.J. Ellis. And the 3-2 pitch on the way is swung on and fouled away. Still 3-2. The Rockies are on an 8-game, 10-day road trip. They were swept in Arizona, salvaged 2 out of 3 in San Diego, and they lost here last night. And they, like all the other clubs with Walt Weiss's boys, they'll be off for the break. 3-2 pitch swung on and fouled away again. So Dexter Fowler is doing just that. For Colorado, they've won 26 games in the Western Division. When they took the field last night, that was the best in the major leagues of any team within its division. 3-2 pitch coming up. Fowler swings and lines it into left field for a base hit. Up with it out there is Skip Schumacher. Schumacher missing 2 games for his suspension. Skip, remember, sat down during that 5-hour and 14-minute game, and then he had to sit down last night, but he's in action tonight. The Dodgers with the leather: Gonzalez and Ellis, Ramirez, Uribe, Schumacher, Ether, and Puig. A.J. Ellis handling Kershaw. So Fowler with a leadoff single, and he will certainly give Kershaw and Ellis a lot to think about. Fowler's been on the DL. Even so, he's stolen 12 out of 14. And there he goes. The pitch, a strike. The throw is high, and he has stolen it. So Dexter Fowler going in head first, and his hat, or helmet actually, is way over near shortstop. I don't know who invented going in head first, but it's almost suicidal, all of the different injuries you could suffer. So Fowler steals it right away, 13 out of 15, stealing it against a pitcher who has a terrific record against base stealers, and stealing it against a catcher who had caught 50% of the stolen base attempts. Had the throw from A.J. been a little down, a little lower, they might have gotten Fowler. But he's at second base, 0-1. The corners come up thinking bunt. LeMahieu takes low on the corner. That balances things. 1 ball and 1 strike. LeMahieu finished up last night and grounded out. Birthday tomorrow, 25. DJ from Visalia. Kershaw looked back at second. Now Clayton very deliberate as always. And the 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on and missed, and the count 1-2. Dodgers and Rockies, they've split their 10 meetings. Both teams, of course, hurts the other, especially if Arizona wins. That's what happened last night. Dodgers won, Arizona won. Colorado dropped to 4.5 back. LeMahieu waiting, and the 1-2 pitch is swung on. Ground ball through into left field for a base hit. Schumacher is up with it, and they will hold the runner Fowler at third. So Kershaw in trouble right at the outset. First and third, nobody out, and the heavy hitters coming up. That means Gonzalez, Tulowitzki, and Rosario. Clayton Kershaw and what he has done with Carlos Gonzalez. Gonzalez has hit 2 home runs against him. Otherwise, hitting just 185. So the wonderful left fielder, twice a Gold Glover. Last night, 2 singles and a home run. He has 15 career home runs against the Dodgers, and he's had 4 home runs against them this year. So here is Cargo, as they call him. First and third, nobody out. First pitch is a fastball in at the knees for a strike. Cargo backs out. No balls, 1 strike. Gonzalez batting .307, 25 home runs, 64 runs batted in, and yes, ma'am, he is an all-star. Kershaw again out of his stretch, checking the runners at the corners. Back with a high fastball swung on and missed, and the count 0-2. Kershaw throwing about as hard as we've ever seen him on that pitch. Normally he's around 92, maybe 93. That pitch was 95. So no balls and 2 strikes. Fowler at third. LeMahieu at first. Nobody out. Just starting in the first inning. No score. The strike 2 pitch coming up. Kershaw deals, and it's strike 3 called. He hit the outside corner, and down goes Gonzalez. Gonzalez, by the way, walked up there having struck out 100 times, and that ball just caught the corner, and down he goes. So 1 out. And talking about strikeouts, Troy Tulowitzki knows all about that empty-handed feeling walking back to the dugout. Last night, Tulo went 0 for 4, striking out 3 times. Of course, he's an all-star for the 3rd time and just off the DL, hitting .341, 16 home runs, 51 runs batted in. Throw to first, LeMahieu back on the bag. LeMahieu has stolen 11 out of 14. Fowler has stolen 13 out of 15. So the Dodgers have to get squared away. What happens if LeMahieu breaks to go to second base? Who's going to cover whom? The pitch to Tulowitzki is low. 1 ball and no strikes. Troy Tulowitzki, 3 times an all-star, deserving every time. Kid from Northern California. Spent only 14 months in the minor leagues, and the next thing you know, he was a big leaguer. Born in Santa Clara, lives in Sunnyvale. Went to Long Beach State, a dirtbagger as they call him. The next pitch is swung on. Fly ball to center field. Ethier is set. Foul is going to come. The throw is to the right of the plate, and it couldn't be cut off, so that makes it a bad throw. Fowler scores easily. More importantly, since the throw could not be cut off, that allows LeMahieu to get into scoring position at second base. So yes, it's good to have a strong arm, but you've got to have somebody be able to cut it off. So poor throw. Tulowitzki gets the run batted in. The Rockies take a 1-0 lead, and the batter now is Willen Rosario with LeMahieu at second base. (1-0) Colorado. Rosario hitting .276, 13 home runs, 45 runs batted in, and the fastball a little high. 1 ball and no strikes to Willen Rosario. Good catcher and a very good hitter. Rosario with 76 hits. Catcher waiting, and Kershaw from a stretch. Another look back at LeMahieu, and the left-hander deals. That's uppercutted and fouled away. So the count runs 1-1 strike. Willen Rosario from Bonao in the Dominican Republic. Originally signed as a free agent by Colorado in 2006. This is his third year. His first rookie year, as they call it, was last year, and he had 28 home runs. 1-1 strike to Willen Rosario. Kershaw set, looks at second, back to the plate, base hit up the middle. So here comes LeMahieu, and that's why that throw was so important, and they cash him in. If the throw is cut off, LeMahieu couldn't go to second and could not have scored on a base hit. You barely ever will read about that, or you certainly don't see it in the box score, but it is a major mistake when you make a throw that can't be cut off. So just like that, now the Rockies are out in front 2-0, and the batter will be Jordan Pacheco. So Willen Rosario, base hit, run batted in. Rockies lead 2-0. A rocky start for Clayton Kershaw. Pacheco, right-hand batter. Jordan, a contact hitter, and takes way off the plate. Ball one. I mean, you look at his major league career, even the minor leagues, most times he has ever struck out, 61. He's from Albuquerque, went to the University of New Mexico, signed with the Rockies 6 years ago. 27 years old. So the right-hander waiting, and the 1-0 pitch on the way. That's a breaking ball low. 2 balls and no strike. So Clayton Kershaw pushed around here. 3 singles, a stolen base, a scoring fly ball. And we were wondering how a man with an earned run average of 1.8 can lose easy if the opposition scores 2. Huh? Here's the 2-0 pitch on the way. Kershaw ready and delivers. Ground ball to the right side. Over to get it, Mark Ellis. And there's the elusive third out. Not, however, before the Rockies pick up 2. And at the end of half an inning, it's the Rockies 2 and the Dodgers coming up. First inning, catcher Willen Rosario picked up the second run with a base hit. Troy Tulowitzki picked up the first with a sacrifice fly. One thing about the Rockies, and we'll give it to you right after the lineup. Skip Schumacher leads off in left field. Yasiel Puig in right. Adrian Gonzalez at first. And Hanley Ramirez at short. Andre Ethier is in center. A.J. Ellis, the catcher. Mark Ellis at second base. Juan Uribe at third. Clayton Kershaw, the pitcher. On the mound, and recently just called up, Juan Nicasio from San Francisco de Macorís in the Dominican Republic. Nicasio was originally signed by the Rockies in 2006. His father farmed coffee and rice, tended to cows. So did Juan. He struggled, and he is 0-3 in his last 7 starts. He was sent down. He's now been called back. He is 1-2 in his career against the Dodgers. Last night, we gave you a note about the Rockies, and it was bad news. We said that with the Rockies, if the opposition scores first on the road, they were 0-20. Well, sure enough, they lost last night, 0-21. However, when they score first on the road, it's a different story. They are 18-7. So that's a number to keep in mind as Nicasio leads off against Schumacher and starts him with a strike. So Schumacher, Puig, and Gonzalez in that order. Skip riding out a 2-game suspension, now back in. And the next pitch to him is taken for a strike. So Schumacher in a slight hole. No balls, 2 strike. Hitting .254, 16 runs batted in. Did well in Colorado and San Francisco. The next pitch to him is swung on and fouled away. And it's still no balls, 2 strikes. One of the key plays, certainly in the first inning, was Fowler stealing second base. When you steal against Kershaw, you really have accomplished something. Here's the strike 2 pitch, and Schumacher hits a 1-hopper to second base, and LeMahieu will make the play, and we have 1 away. As far as Kershaw and stolen bases are concerned, stolen bases 44, caught 41, so just a little bit more than 50%, and he's also picked off 40 runners. So now here's Puig. Yasiel last night hit into a double play. By the way, the Rockies turned 3 double plays last night. So he hit into a double play, single to right, got a gift single on a slow roll to the third, struck out, and had a sacrifice fly. And he looks at the first pitch for a strike, and they count 0-1. Puig checking in. Nicasio into the windup. Over the top he comes with a pitch low and inside. And the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Juan Nicasio, 6'3", 210. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Ground ball to Tulowitzki. Troy is up with it and throws him out. So Puig taps to short. 2 down in the first inning. Rockies lead 2-0. And the batter will be Adrian Gonzalez. Adrian Gonzalez checking in against Juan Nicasio. Basically, Gonzalez and every Dodger has read the book. Nicasio throws a pretty good 2-seam fastball, the 4-seamer, not a great slider, and a changeup. So they all go over the facts before the game. No surprises, not even the fact they load up the right side. Nicasio into the windup, delivers, and the first pitch away, ball 1. So Nolan Arenado is beyond short, almost near the bag at second. And the other side, you have Tulowitzki, LeMahieu, and Pacheco. The pitch swung on, hit foul off third down the line. 1-1 the count. Nicasio, both feet on the rubber, looks in to get a sign. Now the right-hander ready in the 1-1 pitch. That's inside at the knuckles. Two to nothing in favor of Colorado. We're in the bottom of the first inning with 2 out. Nicasio comes back 2-1, swung on and missed, and the count 2-2. So the infield, Pacheco, LeMahieu, Tulowitzki, and Arenado. Tulowitzki all alone as the shortstop. Arenado has joined LeMahieu and Pacheco, and the count now runs to 3-2. So Gonzalez trying to get aboard. Hanley Ramirez on deck. Take a look at the Dodgers against Nicasio. Gonzalez is 1 for 2 with a home run. 3-2 pitch on the way, swung on and hit in the air off first down the line. In foul ground is Jordan Pacheco and makes the catch, and that'll do it for the Dodgers here in the first inning. So at the end of an inning, the Rockies 2 and the Dodgers nothing. Rockies jump out to a surprising 2-0 lead as we go to the second inning. And you might say surprising. What's so surprising about it? Well, talking about surprises, since June 22nd, the Dodgers have won 16 out of 19. Diamondbacks, Rockies, Giants, and Padres have all gone south. So into the second inning, the 2 runs against Clayton Kershaw in the first inning is a surprise. Charlie Blackmon, left-hand hitting right fielder, takes high, ball 1. Charlie, born in Dallas, lives in Warwick, Georgia, and he swings, doesn't get the next one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Charlie's been up and down in the Colorado system last couple of years. Got a business degree in business administration. He takes in at the knuckles. In fact, not only did he get a BS degree in business administration, there was a concentration in finance from the Georgia Institute of Technology. So we have a bright young man up here. And the 2-1 pitch, foul back. Now to talk about the 2 runs. Not only did Colorado get a stolen base against Clayton, that's unusual, but the 2 runs they scored in the first inning equals the number of first inning runs he had allowed all year. 19 starts. And it all started with Dexter Fowler stealing second base. 2-2 pitch on the way is swung on and fouled away. In the inning, the throw by Ethier was cashed in. You really won't find that in the box score, but Andre trying to throw to get Fowler and had one of those high arcing throws. They couldn't cut it off. LeMahieu took second on the throw and eventually scored on a 2-out single from second. 2-2 pitch on the way, foul back. Juan Nicasio, by the way, in his first inning made only 13 pitches to set the Dodgers down in order. So Charlie Blackmon, then Nolan Arenado, and then Juan Nicasio. Blackmon called up from AAA just a few days ago, and the 2-2 pitch swung on, fouled away. Clayton Kershaw trying to win his 9th, trying to make his record 9-4 against Colorado. But he's down right now 2-0. Clayton's 2-2 pitch to Charlie Blackmon is swung on and fouled off. Todd Helton not playing tonight. Helton went 2 for 4 last night. The remarkable first baseman has 11 multi-hit games this year and his 699th career multi-hit game. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way, and that's slap foul. So it's still 2-2. So wearing the count, Clayton Kershaw goes back to rub a wrinkle in the ball. 2-0. 2 runs on 3 hits in the first inning. Blackmon now has a 10-pitch at bat, and he's fouled off 6. 2-2 pitch on the way, swung on and fouled away again into the Rockies dugout. Remember, we keep track of those things anymore about whether swings and misses. Last night, Capuano did very well, getting at least 15 swings and misses. Kershaw, and it could be an indication of at least a slow beginning, they're fouling him off. 2-2 pitch on the way. Blackmon swings and fouls it back. 2-2, and for Clayton, a very tough at bat by Charlie Blackmon. Then it's Noli Arenado and Juan Nicasio. So an 11-pitch at bat. And the 2-2 pitch on the way. Blackmon swings, hits it down the left field line. Base hit. More than that. It'll roll to the corner. Picked up by Schumacher. And by that time, Blackmon is into second base with a double. So the Rockies are treating Kershaw pretty rudely here in the first inning plus.
Third base, number 28, Nolan Arenado.
And it's usually some sign when you have so many foul balls, and Blackmon just kept fouling them off and then promptly doubles into the corner. So the Rockies leading 2-0. Have Blackmon at second, nobody out. Nolan Arenado out there. For Blackmon, that was a 12-pitch at bat. And he had 8 foul balls. 8. Nolan Arenado, the third baseman, right-hand batter. He takes low, ball 1. Arenado last night had 1 hit, also grounded into a double play. Arenado, good young ball player, just really beginning his career. He's from Lake Forest, California, went to El Toro High School, and the count now runs 2-0 as Kershaw's in dirt, and he'll have to get a new ball. So Clayton is laboring a little bit here in the second inning. Of course, a 12-pitch at bat will certainly make you labor. Nicasio, the pitcher, is on deck. Clayton hands it aside, now set, goes into that long stretch, and the 2-0 pitch inside, ball 3. So Clayton certainly a shaky beginning as the left-hander tries to find himself. In his starts this year, the briefest number of innings against San Diego back in April, he went 5 1/3. Clayton again from the stretch. Ellis trying to hold his man Blackmon at second base, and there's a strike to make it 3-1. Kershaw hits 93 on the gun. The highest number of pitches that Clayton has made this year in any one game, 132. That was back in the middle of May against Washington. He is ready to make his 40th pitch. And the 3-1 pitch is swung on, hit to straightaway center. Ethier is there, tagging up is Blackmon. Ethier for the catch, and then a strong throw, cut off at short by Ramirez. Nice throw that time by Andre. Blackmon holds, and now Nicasio, the pitcher, coming up. Dodgers will hold a little meeting as to who's going to do what. They're figuring that Nicasio, just called up from the minor leagues, will try to get a bunt down, and then Dexter Fowler coming up. So Juan Nicasio, who just got here, leading 2-0 here in the second inning. Rockies have Charlie Blackmon at second base, and Nicasio trying to push him up a notch. Uribe plays up on the grass. Gonzalez, however, is reasonably back at first base, not overly committed. Kershaw with one out, working on the opposition pitcher, and the left-hander ready. And the first pitch, and that's taken for a strike, 0-1. We have no numbers on Nicasio, though in all honesty, we're not sure if he's a good hitting pitcher or not. 0-1. Kershaw again looks back at Blackmon. Fastball at the knee, strike 2. Right at 93. That's why it was a little unusual in the first inning to see him hit 95. Clayton from a stretch. Now the strike 2 pitch to Nicasio, slow and high. 1-2 the count. So that was his changeup at 73, which is a surprising pitch to throw to a pitcher. The old story was you never change up on a pitcher unless he is an exceptionally good hitting pitcher. Well, maybe Nicasio is. Kershaw ready, looks at Blackmon. Back he comes 1-2, waved at and fouled at the plate. In his career with Colorado, Nicasio has had 5 hits, that's counting 2 years, and 1 run batted in. He has also struck out 29 times in 22 games. So it doesn't sound like he's a good hitter, but they did change up on him. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kershaw another look at second. Back he comes. It is reached for and struck out. Now that's the answer. You're not much of a hitter to swing at that pitch. So Nicasio strikes out, 2 down, and the batter Dexter Fowler. Bad ball, and it was a big slow curveball. So with 2 out, here's Dexter Fowler. Because of Charlie Blackmon, this has been a tough inning. In other words, Kershaw made 23 pitches in the first inning. He's made 22 pitches in the second, 12 of them against Blackmon alone. So with 2 out, Fowler 1 for 1 and takes a strike. Dexter single to left field. Always a threat to run, and sure enough, stole his 13th in 15 tries and was able to score on the base hit by LeMahieu. Hitting .457 against Kershaw, and the pitch to Dexter swung on and missed. 0-2. Kershaw had 1 strikeout. He'll have to go some to catch up to Capuano. Capuano last night, 8 strikeouts in 6 1/3 innings. Boy, he was brilliant. Cappy all smiles in the dugout, as well he should be, talking to Ted Lilly. No balls and 2 strikes the count. Pitchers usually covey up to pitchers. No balls and 2 strikes. 2 out. Blackmon at second. 2-0 Colorado. Clayton ready. Here he comes. Swung on and missed, and down goes Fowler. So Kershaw asserting himself, striking out 2 to give him 3 in the game. And at the end of an inning and a half, 2-0 Colorado. 0-0, bottom of the second inning. A reminder tomorrow, after the game with the Rockies at 4:15, the Dodgers will hold a special screening of the film 42 on the new high-definition video screens. For information and for tickets, visit Dodgers.com/42. So that'll be a lovely way to spend the evening. The Dodgers and Rockies at 4:15 and the movie shortly thereafter. Bottom of the second inning, 2-0 in favor of the Rockies. Hanley Ramirez, Andre Ethier, and A.J. Ellis in that order. Ramirez hitting .402. Hanley last night lost an extra base hit on a tremendous catch by Carlos Gonzalez in left field. They walked him 3 times last night, so he wound up grounding out to short, going 0 for 2, and he takes the first pitch for ball 1. The Dodgers really took off on the 22nd. Hanley took off ahead of them on the 19th. He takes low, ball 2, 2-0 to count. For Hanley Ramirez, not only getting hits, but honestly hitting the ball as hard as we've seen anybody hit. 8 home runs, 24 runs batted in. 2-0 pitch, slider on the outside corner for a strike, and the count 2-1. So Ramirez, Ethier, and then the 2 Ellises. A.J. followed by Mark. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Rockies. The 2-1 pitch, and that's off the plate. So Nicasio is behind now. 3-1. Nicasio having just been called back from the minors, trying to turn in a great effort. The 3-1 pitch swung on and foul back. 3-2 the count to Hanley Ramirez. Ramirez has been doing it all very well. Not only hitting with power, hitting for extra bases, but he has done a really good steady job at shortstop. All right, Hanley back up, 3-2. Nicasio's 3-2 pitch on the way, swung on and fouled off. Fastball in on the hands at 94. So Nicasio at 6'3" and 210 throws hard. Juan rubbing up a new ball. Ramirez waiting. Terrible accident suffered by Nicasio back in August of 2011. The next pitch is whacked in the air. Going back for it is Gonzalez at the wall and makes a catch right in front of the window of the Dodger bullpen at 360. The problem with that one, he hit it too high. So a towering fly ball, but Gonzalez was right there waiting for it. And we have 1 out in the second. Andre Ethier coming up. What a time of day as we slowly slip into the night. The kids always love to look at the different clouds in the sky. What do you see there? Do you see an ocean? Do you see a waterfall? Beautiful. So a magnificent time of day here. 1 away. Andre Ethier takes inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Back in August of 11, Nicasio required surgery after he was hit on the right side of the head by a line drive, suffering a broken neck. The 1-0 pitch is low, ball 2, 2-0. He was hit in the temple by a line drive off the bat of the Nationals' great shortstop, Ian Desmond. Went down, lay on the mound for several minutes, treated by the training staff, then loaded onto a cart by 4 medical personnel workers. Tell you more in a moment. 2 balls and no strikes. Nicasio ready and comes back away, ball 3. Then suddenly he found himself on his back gasping for air. His lungs were pulling so hard his teammates gathered around him. His chest heaved, shook, heaved again, and he was worrying, I don't want to die, but he was hammered. 3-1 the count. The neck surgery was to stabilize a fracture to the C1 vertebrae in his neck. 2 screws inserted in the topmost vertebrae, along with a small plate at the base of his skull. Ethier fouls it back. The plate had screws, and the plate are permanent. Then he had a neck brace removed the end of September and turned right around to go back to the mound in spring training. No, he said, no problem. I feel the same as before. I'm not scared. Thank you, God. Here's the 3-2 pitch on the way, and Ethier takes high, ball 4. One other remark from Juan Nicasio about that accident. He said, quote, the next one I want to catch. Well, I hope you catch it, Juan. I hope you don't ever have to go through that. So A.J. Ellis coming up. Ethier at first, 1 out, second inning. Rockies leading 2-0. A.J. 271, 4 home runs, 27 runs batted in. He followed a Ramirez home run to right with his own monstrous home run to left to break up that 5-hour and 14-minute fun fest in Arizona. A.J. shies away from a pitch low and inside, ball 1. 1-0 the count to Ellis. 1 out, second inning. Rockies jumped on Kershaw for 2 quick runs in the first inning. A rare experience for Clayton to give up any runs at all, especially in the first inning. Give up 2 when your earned run average is less than 2. Throw to first. Ethier again back on the bag. Andre doesn't do any running. He has 3 stolen bases, but he's been caught 3. So normally if he's going, it's part of a hit and run play. 1 ball and no strikes to A.J. Ellis. Nicasio delivers and drops it in on the inside corner. They're going back in the books. The fact that Kershaw gave up 2 runs in the first inning. A little over a year ago, June the 15th, he gave up 2 runs in the first inning against the White Sox. Dodgers came back to win that game 7-6. 1 ball and 1 strike. A.J. slaps it foul off to the right upstairs. 1-2. Looked like he was trying to take a shot at right field. They always talk about keeping your hands inside the ball, and that looked like he was personally trying to take a shot. There's a hole on the right side of the infield. LeMahieu was way over to his right, and Pacheco is on the bag. So 1-2 the count. 2-0 Rockies, bottom of the second. And with 1 out, the 1-2 pitch swung on, fouled away. Still 1-2. A.J. Ellis has done a remarkable job. You just don't find catchers throwing out 50% of the runners, but he's been doing that. He also has a little 9-game hitting streak. So A.J. waiting. Nicasio looks in, getting a sign. Ethier, very short lead at first. He's barely off the bag. And the 1-2 pitch coming up. Swung on, lifted off first. Coming over, looking is Pacheco along with Rosario, but it's back in the crowd. Nice crowd on hand. If you looked around, you'd figure it has to be over 40,000 on a Friday night, of course, following the game. Sure, fireworks every Friday night. So A.J. back up, 1-2 the count. 1 out, Ethier at first base, 2-0 Colorado. The 11th meeting of the year. They've split the previous 10. 1-2 in the dirt, gets away from Rosario, but at the same time, he had the play in front of him, and Ethier did not have a chance. So 2-2 the count to A.J. Ellis. A.J. back up, hitting behind him, Mark Ellis, who had that big night last night. 4 runs batted in. 2-2 the count. Nicasio ready. Here he comes. And that swung on, hit foul off to the right. That will go well back into the crowd. So it's still 2-2. Tomorrow, game 3 of the series, Tyler Chatwood and Zach Greinke. And then Sunday, the concluding game, Ulysses Chassin and Ricky Nolasco. Good ball games before the break. 2-2 the count to A.J. Ellis. Then a 20-pitch inning now for Nicasio. And his 2-2 pitch swung on. Slow roller to short. Tulowitzki on the run throws him out. And on the play, Ethier advances to second. Not much Tulo could do with that but go to first.
For the Dodgers, second
and that'll
baseman,
bring up Mark Ellis. Sunset time, a magnificent time on a magnificent day. Mark Ellis last night had 3 singles, a walk, and grounded out. So with 3 hits, he had 4 runs batted in. Mark batting .261, 4 home runs, 26 runs batted in. Did it all in his 1,300th game. So 2 out, second inning, 2-0 Colorado. Ellis trying to pick up Ethier and turned around on a pitch inside. Almost got him, ball 1. On deck, Juan Uribe. Ellis waiting at the plate. Uribe waiting on deck. 2 out, second inning. 2-0 Colorado. They had 3 hits, a stolen base, and a scoring fly ball. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Mark looks at a strike, and the count 1-1. Interesting. The Dodgers had a quartet of umpires in Arizona. They moved over here to do the first game. So he had 4 umpires for 4 consecutive games, and voila, they are gone. A new unit tonight. 1-1 pitch, a slicing fly ball to right, very playable. Charlie Blackmon is there. So the Dodgers leave Ethier, who walked, and at the end at 2. Nicasio walks off, leading 2-0. Top of the 3rd inning with the Rockies leading the Dodgers 2-0. How good is Clayton Kershaw? Well, you have to be awfully good to get your name mixed in with Sandy Koufax and Greg Maddux. So when you talk about most consecutive National League ERA titles, Sandy won 5 in a row. Maddox has won 3. Kershaw trying for his 3rd this year. His first pitch now to LeMahieu. Drops in nicely for a strike, and the count 0-1. Well, we can tell you, bottom of the 4th inning, Diamondbacks leading the Brewers 2-1. And the fastball in the dirt. Last night, the D-backs winning rally was set up. Bases loaded on walks before Martin Prado's big single. Tonight, the Brewers have committed 2 errors, and both Arizona runs have been unearned. Boy, the beer is flat in Milwaukee as far as this year is concerned. 1-1 pitch on the way, a bounce to the right side. Mark Ellis picks it up and takes care of him. So 1 away in the 3rd inning. Milwaukee last in the National League Central. Right now they are 18.5 games back. Here comes Gonzalez. Cargo struck out in the 1st inning. High fastball got him. But then Tulowitzki hit the long fly ball to Ethier, and the run scored. Carlos hitting .357 against the Dodgers. As we told you, he has hit 15 home runs against them in his career. He has hit 16 home runs against Arizona. Carlos Gonzalez, one of the top players in the league for sure. Strike 1 pitch on the way. Waved at and missed. 0-2. Kershaw taking a long look in. Now he's ready. And the strike 2 pitch on the way is swung on and fouled off. 93-mile-an-hour fastball down and away. Cargo just hung in there. Gonzalez signed a lengthy contract. He's from Maracaibo in Venezuela. Signed a 7-year deal. Here's the strike 2 pitch. Waved at on a check swing, and he is struck out again. So that would be 4 strikeouts for Clayton Kershaw. And with 2 down, the batter is Troy Tulowitzki. Tulo, the brilliant right-hand hitting shortstop. I mean, he has it all. Great fielder, great arm, fine hitter, and power. Averaging 30 home runs last 3 full years. Plagued this year, he had bad ribs. And takes just off the plate. 1 ball and no strikes. Tulowitzki, a remarkable talent. And he's only 28. I mean, he can play for quite some time. 1-0 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. And of course, if you start to lose your legs playing shortstop, you can always move over to third. Or for that matter, play first. He's 6'3", 215. He'll be 29 in October. Wears number 2 in honor of Gary Jeter of the Yankees. Next pitch in for a strike, so he's in a hole. 1-2. Tulo struck out 3 times last night, but tonight had that scoring fly ball. Tulo turned in an unassisted triple play, and he also hit for the cycle. The 1-2 pitch is low. They're the only 2 players in Major League history to do that. Unassisted triple play, hit for a cycle. Troy Tulowitzki and Dodger coach John Valentin. John did it for the Red Sox in 1994, the triple play, and the cycle in 96. Tulo's triple play 2007, the cycle in 2009. Chases one, pays the price, and down he goes. So Tulowitzki strikes out. 5 strikeouts for Clayton Kershaw. Bottom of the 3rd, 2-0 Rockies. Dodger Stadium Sunday, July 28th at 1:10. Dodgers and Reds, and the first 15,000 kids 14 and under receive their own set of Dodger sunglasses, compliments of the Korea Tourism Organization. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Yes, you too, son. We got plenty of room for you. Bring Dad if he's good. Yeah, if you're out here, you can't help but looking up at the sky. Palm trees, blue sky, pink clouds. Boys, we've got it all here. 2-0 in favor of Colorado. Juan Uribe, Clayton Kershaw, and Skip Schumacher in that order. Nicasio, through 2 innings, has allowed just 1 base runner, that on a walk. Ball 1. Dodgers above 500, 46 and 45. Rockies are 5 under 500. Next pitch in there. Uribe is hitting .279. Last night, single, walked, then got another base hit, then hit into a double play. As we mentioned, there were 3 of them turned by the Rockies. 1-1 pitch on the way, and Uribe looks at a strike, and the count 1-2. Ed Hickok is the plate umpire. Jim Joyce, Corey Blazer, and Jeff Nelson working the lines. Hickok in his 9th year. The next pitch, Uribe fists it foul outside of first down the line. So he was properly jammed. Not bad for a plate umpire, Ed Hickok. He has a degree in criminal justice. So he's right there to restore order. He is a sworn police officer in Florida during the offseason. 1-2. Swung on, hit the right field, pretty deep. Blackman goes back and makes the catch. So 1 away in the 3rd, and the batter will be Clayton Kershaw. So that's not a bad idea. The plate umpire has a degree in criminal justice. He's a police officer during the offseason. He works with the Daytona Beach Shores Police Department. So hats off to Ed Hickok. Now here's Clayton. 1 home run against the Giants over the center field fence. Strike. 2-0 Rockies, bottom of the 3rd. Strike 1 pitch on the way, misses low and away. Nicasio's allowed only 1 base runner. That was the walk to Ethier. And he has 1 out here in the 3rd, leading 2-0. 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball foul back. 1-2. Nicasio had to work a little harder in the 2nd inning. He made 24 pitches. So now he's got his pitch count up to 45. The 1-2 pitch on the way, down and away. Waiting on deck, Skip Schumacher. Rockies' 2 runs came in the 1st inning. Kershaw waiting, and the 2-2 pitch coming up. Taken for strike 3 called. So down goes Kershaw. Strikeout number 1 for Juan Nicasio. And with 2 out, the batter will be Skip Schumacher. What's in a number? Well, Schumacher, for the most part of the first half, wore number 3. And then on the road, he said, you know, I think I'd like to use 55, which had been worn by the veteran catcher Ramon Hernandez. So there's a natural question. Why? What does 55 mean to you? Skip said, I wore 55 all the time I was with the St. Louis Cardinals. It's just more like me. Strike one pitch, another strike, 0-2. Brandon Lee changed his number. He came into pitch last night wearing number 43. Strike two pitch, swung on, base hit to right field. Over to get it is Charlie Blackmon. Schumacher a turn and back to the bag. So with 2 out, Schumacher singles, and Yasiel Puig comes up representing the tying run. And of course, anytime Puig comes up, it really stirs the crowd. So Puig checking in. He grounded to short in the first inning. The Diamond Vision screens exhorting the crowd to make some noise. 18 multi-hit games in 36 career games. And the first pitch swung on, a little ground ball right side. LeMahieu does it. Just jogging to first is Puig. No runs, 1 hit. Man left. And at the end of 3, 2-0 Colorado. Should start the All-Star game. Clayton Kershaw, Adam Wainwright, Matt Harvey, or Patrick Corbin. Tweet hashtag ASG and then Kershaw, Wainwright, Harvey, or Corbin. Tune in, we'll get the results. I was thinking Matt Harvey because he is a New York Mets sensation and the All-Star game is at Citi Field in New York. We'll see. 4th inning, 2-0 Colorado. Rosario, Pacheco, and Blackmon. First pitch skied to shallow left center. A trio and Hanley Ramirez out to make the catch. So Rosario, a pop fly out to the shortstop. 1 away.
15,
and the batter Jordan Pacheco. I just wonder, talking to the fellas in the truck, Christian and Rob, whether we had Puig going to first base on the ground ball for the 3rd out in the 3rd inning. Because it's, I think I have the answer to it. That's a strike. Last night, Puig made out, went back to the dugout, and did not take the field in the 9th inning. And we never had any idea what was wrong. And I think maybe we ought to point it out now. High fly ball going back, and now coming in is Schumacher and makes the catch. Here's Puig running to first. Ground ball. Watch that. See that? Now, if you're sitting in the stands and he's a 22-year-old superstar, you're going to say, wait a minute. He's dogging it. He's not. But he's playing with a bad hip. He hurt the hip in Colorado when he crashed into the wall. There hadn't been any publicity about it. But if you saw that and you thought he was just dogging it, he really does have a sore hip. Okay. Charlie Blackmon, who had a 12-pitch at bat and fouled off 8 pitches, now checking in. After all of it, he doubled. That's a strike. 1-1. More you think about Puig, you realize he has hit 3 walls already in 30 some odd games in the league. Remember, twice he crashed into the right field wall here, and then once he crashed into the right field wall in Colorado. And when you crash into the walls 3 times, you are 0 for 3. Matt Kemp knows all about crashing into the wall, wrecking his shoulder in Colorado. Slow Uncle Charlie. Strike 3 call. Big curveball. Clayton is back on the beam. He has struck out 6, but he walks off losing 2-0. Boys, get an award-winning Farmer's Burger topped with farm fresh veggies, cheese, bacon, and avocado. By Chase, manage your account on the go whenever and wherever you want. The Chase mobile app, so you can. And by 76, we're on the driver's side. Aerial coverage of tonight's game brought to you by the Minions flying the Despicable and Universal's animated comedy Despicable Me 2, now playing everywhere. By the way, just to put the last paragraph on that story, we showed you that Puig ran very slowly to first. We told you also he has a sore hip. And when he came into the dugout, Don Mattingly talked to him and then appeared to nod his head like, okay. And Puig has left the dugout. Whether he's going to come back and play right field, we'll just have to wait and see. But that hip is obviously bothering him. Meanwhile, Gonzalez, Ramirez, and Ethier coming up here in the 4th. 2-0 Colorado. And a bunt foul. How about that? Adrian Gonzalez trying to bunt. Why not? They've loaded up the right side. You have Tulowitzki all alone on the left side. And Gonzalez will come back and pick up the magic bat. Matt Kemp standing behind A.J. Ellis. 0-1 the count. Again, loading up on the right. 0-1 the count. So they give him all of the third base area. Why not try to do it again? And he does. Some players react the other way. It's kind of a tip-off on Adrian Gonzalez's personality. One reason why he has survived long enough to have 1,400 hits. He is not defiant. Ted Williams was defiant. When they load up on the right side, he wouldn't think of going to left field. Want to challenge me, huh? That kind of an attitude, and he tried to pull the ball through the loaded up side. Adrian's the other way, very practical. Okay, you want to do that? I'll try this. Didn't work, but he tried it, and it lets you know what kind of a player he is. 1-2. Little ground foul, and he cracked the bat. His favorite bat to bunt, too. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Adrian Gonzalez slowly moving around, ready to come back. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Adrian Gonzalez, in his heyday, hit 40 home runs. So you don't see a guy hit 40 home runs try to bunt very often, but that's the way he is. It's one reason why he's been playing in the big leagues since about 2005. Off the plate. 2-2. Adrian is 31 years old, born in San Diego, lives in the Phoenix area. 2-2. Down he goes. So all the while, Nicasio doing a very nice job for 3 1/3 innings. He has not allowed a hit. He has struck out 2, and he has walked 1. So he's not been pitching out of the stretch very often. So here's Ramirez. A fly ball to left field, a mile high and about 5 feet short. Carlos Gonzalez caught it right in front of the window by the Dodger bullpen. This time it's a shot into left center. Late start by Fowler, so it's going to go all the way to the wall. Hanley is to second, and he will hold there with 1 out. To Hanley Ramirez. A 1-out double, and he continues to be so impressive. Ramirez has 11 doubles, 2 triples, 8 home runs. He's only played in 37 games. No doubt about that being a base hit. Fowler finally made the move to go over to cut it off. And Ramirez with 1 out thinking, okay, I'll settle for 2. So now Andre Ethier trying to pick him up. Hit number 1 against Juan Nicasio. Andre walked in the 2nd inning. He has perked up, and it's interesting. He's really been swinging the bat well ever since Puig joined the Dodgers. Coincidental, but it's true. And first ball swinging, a high fly ball to left center. Fowler on the track, watching Gonzalez make the catch. Holding up at second, Hanley Ramirez. So Ethier just misses. Long fly ball, and the batter now will be A.J. Ellis. Ellis grounded to short in the 2nd inning. 2 runs, 4 hits for Colorado. No runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Rockies scored 2 runs in the 1st inning. That was an exclamation point. Kershaw had allowed 2 runs in 19 previous starts in the 1st inning. They had 3 singles, a stolen base, and a scoring fly ball. That's a strike. Bottom of the fourth, 2-0 Rockies. Tomorrow, Tyler Chatwood and Zach Greinke. Sunday, Ulysses Chassin and Ricky Nolasco. No balls, 1 strike. Fastball, little pop fly to right field. Coming up is Blackman to pick it off on the run. So the Dodgers waste the double by Ramirez. And at the end of 4, Nicasio walks off, still leading 2-0. Fifth inning, Scott Van Slyke is in right field replacing Yasiel Puig. We told you about the sore hip, the fact that Yasiel had to come out last night in the 9th inning, and there was enough concern before the game. Puig was checking himself, running backwards, forwards, did splits and stresses and you name it. And obviously, when he did start in the ballgame, the Dodgers were well aware that the left hip was bothering him. He grounded out twice. Second time, barely shotted down to first base and left the game. So later on Puig. Meanwhile, we go to the 5th inning, and it'll be Nolan Arenado, Juan Nicasio, and Dexter Fowler. And ball 1. One ball and no strikes. Before the game, Don Mattingly said about Puig, he's in the lineup and we'll see how it goes during BP. If it loosens up, meaning his hip, he'll play. Well, he tried to play, couldn't do it, and came out. So Van Slyke is now in right field, hitting number 2. Nolan Arenado flied to center in the 2nd inning, 0 for 1. Bounced, 3-1. Kershaw has certainly picked up speed after the double by Charlie Blackmon. Retired 9 in a row. He has 6 strikeouts, but Nicasio is out pitching him right now. Rockies lead 2-0. See you later. So Arenado battling him right down to the wire and gets ball 4. And the batter Nicasio coming up in what would appear to be a bunt situation. That is the first walk given up by Kershaw to go along with his 6 strikeouts. Arenado at first base. 1 for 1 in stolen bases. So not sure just how well he runs. Nicasio will try to get the bunt down. And Kershaw just missed picking him off. Oh, boy, that was close. Clayton has 40 pickoffs in his career. Watch Arenado lean and just made it. Just. Right there, Jim Joyce, the first base umpire. Actually, Jim couldn't see the tag on the instep because he was on the line behind the bag. The bunt is down. Gonzalez looks at second, then flips to first. So the sacrifice works. Arenado is now at second base, and Dexter Fowler trying to pick him up. Juan Nicasio, 7 sacrifices, so he really knows what he's doing with that bat. Fowler also knows what he's doing with that bat, especially against Kershaw. He has singled and struck out. Fouled away. Opened up the game with a base hit, promptly stole second, and came home on the base hit by LeMahieu. Dexter has stolen 13 out of 15. No balls, 1 strike. Fouled away. 0-2. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Rockies. No runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. Dexter Fowler, since World War II, the only player to have 50 career triples faster than Fowler, was a wonderful shortstop by the name of Gary Templeton with the 1979 Cardinals. Oh, 0-2 to Dexter. Check swing. 1-2. Dexter Fowler, 27 years old. I guess the ladies would say he is high-waisted. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Check swing. Yes, he did. Jim Joyce rings him up on a curveball. So Fowler strikes out. And for Clayton Kershaw, 7 strikeouts. The batter now will be DJ LeMahieu. LeMahieu singled and grounded out, hitting .271. Just off the plate. Ball 1. One ball and no strikes. Fastball fouled away. LeMahieu from Visalia was originally drafted by the Cubs. Went to school at LSU. Trying to find his full name. One and 1. Ball 2, 2-1. Ever since we played Arizona and we watched that fine young player out of Notre Dame play center field, A.J. Pollock, initials have really become a question mark because Pollock's initials are AJ, but his name, the middle initial, is L. Fouled away. AJ's name is Alan Lorenz Pollock. So I'm looking at DJ just to figure out. If I remember correctly, Kenny Landreau with the Dodgers, everybody called Kenny KT. And one day in the clubhouse, somebody said, "Kenny, what's your middle name?" And he said, "Antoine." I said, "Antoine? Well, how the heck are you KT?" But I like it. All right. Well, DJ is David John. All right. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And slapped into right field by any other initial. Here comes Van Slyke for throw. And it's going to be wide of the mark. The run scores. And down to second goes LeMahieu. So a nice bit of hitting as the young second baseman singles to right. Cashing in Arenado. And of course, the big play to set it up was the 7th sacrifice by Juan Nicasio. And I'm sure everybody in the ballpark and a lot of you at home are saying, if Puig were out there, etc., etc. Close but no cigar. AJ had to go way off to his left, try to make a tag on a moving target, couldn't do it. Down to second on the throw goes LeMahieu. Be a base hit, run batted in. So now the batter, Carlos Gonzalez, who has struck out twice, ball 1. So there were 2 tip-offs on Kershaw tonight. The fact that there were not very many swings and misses. They were making contact. They were fouling the ball. And then they scored twice. Now, after rolling along in high gear, having retired 9 in a row, he gives up another run. Fastball, 1-1. Boy, that was a challenge pitch. 1-1 to Carlos Gonzalez. 3-0 in favor of Colorado. Remember, the Rockies split 6 with the Dodgers, but the Dodgers had to go in there and win 2 out of 3 to even that up. One and two. Gonzalez, with all of his power, he strikes out over 100 times. The most, however, 3 years ago, he struck out 135 times. Not bad when you have all the talent he has. He'll be 28 in October. Got him, and it was nothing fancy. All fastballs to blow him away. 8 strikeouts now for Clayton Kershaw, but a strikeout isn't the payoff window. It's 3-0 Colorado. Bottom of the fifth inning. What does the future hold? Well, we can tell you this much. They'll be playing the Rockies tomorrow afternoon at 4:15 Sunday, and then the All-Star break, and then the Dodgers pick up and go back to work, and they'll play in Washington and Toronto, come home and play 4 games with Cincinnati, followed by 2 games with the Yankees, and then they'll go back out on the road and play the Cubs and the Cardinals. Meanwhile, Clayton Kershaw has now made 86 pitches in 5 innings. First 2 innings, he made 48 pitches, though he spent a lot early. With 8 strikeouts, he needs runs. 3-0, and the batters to get it: Mark Ellis, Juan Uribe, Clayton Kershaw. Almost got Mark. 1 ball and no strikes. Big night last night with 4 runs batted in and a walk. Oh, 0-1 to Mark Ellis. Foul back. 0-2. Juan Uribe on deck. Ellis flied to right in the second inning. Uribe flied to right. And then Kershaw struck out. 0-2. Nicasio gave up a base hit to Schumacher in the 3rd, a double to Hanley Ramirez in the 4th, and a walk to Ethier. Otherwise, he'd been right on target. 1-2. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Fastball got him looking. So Mark Ellis has a good look and pays the price. 1 away.
Dodgers third baseman, number 5, Juan.
That would be the 3rd strikeout for Juan Nicasio, and it'll bring up Juan Uribe. Closest the Dodgers have come to score. Well, they had Ethier at first on a walk with 1 out. He got to second. In the 4th inning, they had a 1-out double by Ramirez, and he never moved on 2 fly balls. So here's Uribe. Overall batting average .277. Whoa. He got hit by the pitch. Nicasio has turned Mark Ellis around twice. Almost hit him, but didn't. Now he does get Uribe. And that'll bring up Clayton Kershaw. So Uribe hit by the pitch. A little meeting out at the mound. Rosario to talk to Nicasio. You can see that scar, the back of his head. Red badge of courage or no, that was one serious injury. So there's a plate held in place by a couple of screws in the back of his head. Kershaw struck out 0 for 1, showing bunt, and drops it nicely. Nicasio's only play is to first. So the Dodgers playing for a run with the Rockies out in front 3-0. And the batter, Skip Schumacher, grounded out and single to right.
Left fielder, number 55, Skip Schumacher.
3 runs, 5 hits for Colorado. No runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. We have not gotten any formal announcement from the Dodgers about Puig, but we have guessed that it was the sore hip that took him out of the game last night. The hip that wasn't quite right tonight. The result of crashing into the wall in right field in Colorado. Uribe looking for a ride home out there at second base. 2 out, bottom of the 5th. 3-0 Colorado on Japanese Community Night. And a strike. That was a very touching moment before the game on Japanese Community Night. We saluted 3 veterans of World War II. Don Seki, James Ogawa, and Hitoshi Samashima. 2 of them were riflemen in the infantry. Don Seki, he was in Italy and France. That was the legendary 442nd Regimental Combat Team. James Ogawa was with the 100th Battalion. They fought in Italy, France, Germany. And then Hitoshi Samashima, who's from Pasadena. He was in the military intelligence as a POW interpreter in the Philippines. It was very touching. All 3 men were in wheelchairs, but then they got up and walked out halfway to the mound, and each one threw out the ceremonial first pitch. The sacrifices so many made for so many of us. Little fly ball to right field. Charlie Blackmon is there, and that's that. So at the end of 5, as we show you the first pitch by our 3 heroes, a reminder, 3-0 Colorado. Memorable, without a doubt, perhaps one of the most important ever played, was on this day in 1949. The game was played in tiny Ebbets Field before 32,000 people. On the 2 All-Star teams for the National League, you had Jackie Robinson, Roy Campanella, and Don Newcomb. And on the American League team representing Cleveland, Larry Doby. That's right, 4 black Major League players for the first time in an All-Star game. Doesn't mean anything. The American League won 11-7. It was much more important about the other note. Let's go back to this one. Three to nothing in favor of Colorado. Rockies will have Troy Tulowitzki and a roller to short. Tricky hop for Hanley Ramirez. And we have 1 away. They make it look so easy even when the ball doesn't take a true hop. So 1 down. Willen Rosario coming up. Rosario singled and popped up. 1 for 2. He's an impressive hitter. He was trying to be a pitcher in the Dominican Republic. And a coach said to him, "I got bad news for you. You can't be a pitcher. You're not going to be too tall." He based that judgment on Willen's mom and dad, who were on the smaller side. However, the coach had a good eye. He said, "The best position for you is going to be a catcher." And he said, "I'll tell you another thing. You're going to be a very good hitter." Well, he's batting .278. Last year, rookie year, he had 28 home runs and hit .270. He set a couple of Rockies rookie records, 28 home runs. He surpassed Todd Helton's record of 25 home runs. And this time Kershaw nails him for strikeout number 9. So Clayton just wasn't himself in the first inning. But boy, has he picked up the pace. Since the first inning, he's allowed 2 hits and a walk. He made 90 pitches, but more importantly, he's trailing 3-0. And that's going to be a flare caught by Mark Ellis. So 1-2-3 inning. Down go the Rockies in the 6th, but they're still leading 3-0. First inning, and they added one more. They've taken a 3-0 lead, and we now move into, for the Dodgers, the bottom of the 6th inning. Juan Nicasio has been so tough for the Dodger hitters. They have only 2 hits. Van Slyke will be coming up, batting second in the inning. A reminder, Yasiel Puig left the game in the 4th inning. We're sure it has to do with a sore left hip. Last night he left after 7 innings and had started 36 of 37. So the hard walls in Colorado have hurt 2 Dodger outfielders. Matt Kemp, of course, had wrecked him. And for Puig, we can only hope it's a bothersome sore hip that will go away. For Matt, there he is, just a spectator taking in the game. So Nicasio ready to pitch. Scott Van Slyke starting off. And that's going to be hit down the left field line. A trio coming over. It will be Cargo. So Van Slyke, a fly ball to left, 1 away. Let's take a look around the National League West. See what's going on. Giants leading San Diego. Posey and Sandoval each picking up an RBI. We can tell you more about Arizona leading Milwaukee 2-1. The Brewers loaded the bases with 2 outs in the 7th inning. That knocked out Patrick Corbin. He had 10 strikeouts tonight. Will Harris came in to face Carlos Gomez. Bases loaded, 2 out, and struck him out. So it's still 2-1 Arizona. Ball 1 to Adrian Gonzalez. Fouled out, struck out. So tempting, decided to try to bunt up along third base. Tried it twice, couldn't do it. Hitting .300. 1 ball and 1 strike. Now Nicasio just called up from the minor leagues. I'm not sure if they thought he would be as strong as he is tonight. But he's terrific. 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk. Ground foul. 1-2. One and two to Adrian Gonzalez. Hanley Ramirez on deck. Works him away. 2-2. Ramirez just missed a home run in the 2nd inning. Double hard in the 4th. So down by 3. Dodgers are hoping Gonzalez can get aboard. And that's off the plate. Ball 3. Big pitch. And high pop foul. Tulo a long way, but he's there. So Gonzalez fouls out to the shortstop. And we have 2 down. Ramirez coming up. Hanley fly deep to left and doubled.
Shortstop number 13, Hanley Ramirez.
Hanley Ramirez 1 for 2. Andre Ethier on deck. Hanley hit a towering fly ball to left. Carlos Gonzalez caught it right in front of the window alongside the Dodger bullpen. Then last time up, Hanley doubled into the sizable gap in left center. 1 ball and no strikes. Andre Ethier on deck. Dodgers have only 2 hits. Single by Schumacher, a double by Ramirez. They've had 2 other base runners, a walk to Ethier, and Uribe hit by a pitch. So Nicasio with a strong hold on the game. And that's going to go foul. Slider. 1 ball and 1 strike. A reminder, tomorrow the Fox Network will do that game. It will be Tyler Chatwood. He's 5-2 with a wonderful ERA of 2.7. Dodgers will come right back at him with Zach Greinke, 7-2. 1-2. Sunday on Prime Ticket we'll be back, and it'll be Ulysses Chacin and Ricky Nolasco. Ricky absolutely wonderful in his debut over in Arizona. He had his dad and about 40 people for that game. He'll probably double that for Sunday. He's from Rialto. One and two to Hanley Ramirez. Two and two. Thinking it's not quite the Rockies when Todd Helton is not playing. Todd Helton, over his career, has just been absolutely overwhelming against the Dodgers. And sure enough, had a couple of hits last night. Ball 3. Todd Helton, number 1 against the Dodgers, with 2 hits last night. He has 247 hits. Runs scored, home runs, RBIs, extra base hits, and walks. The leadership all goes to Helton. And ground ball to Tulowitzki. So the Dodgers having a very tough time against Juan Nicasio. Down they go in order in the 6th, and it's still 3-0 Rockies. He has 8 strikeouts, and here's a pitch to keep in mind. Big, slow, rainbow curve. Drops in for strike 3, and that was against Charlie Blackmon, who had doubled against him earlier. So Kershaw, outside of a wobbly first inning, has pitched exceptionally well, but he's down 3-0. He's also due to bat 5th when the Dodgers hit in the bottom of the 7th inning. Up until Charlie Blackmon's 12th pitch at bat, remember he had 8 fouls and then doubled. The Rockies were fouling off pitches, but not since Blackmon, and that's when we were talking about all the foul balls. Charlie doubled and struck out. After that at bat by Blackmon, suddenly Kershaw seemed to really get it. There were 16 swings and misses. Prior to that at bat, there were only 4. So whatever happened on that 12 pitch at bat, it was pivotal, but it's a question now of whether it's a little too late. Nicasio pitching very, very well. And that's going to be hit in the air, and it will drop. Ethier finally picks it up. So it's a base hit for Blackmon, opening up matters in the 7th inning. Charlie now 2 for 3. 3 runs and 6 hits for the Rockies. Nolan Arenado fly to center and walk, scored a run. Arenado hitting .252. And ball 1. Kershaw has now made 95 pitches. Of course, that's not close to his high, 132. The other surprise some way in the first inning, the fact that Kershaw allowed a stolen base. and gave up 2 runs in the first inning. 1 ball, no strikes. Fastball hit foul out of play. 1-1 the count to Nolan with Nicasio on deck. Kershaw has 9 strikeouts. His high this year 12. One ball and 1 strike. There goes the runner. The pitch, a strike. The throw again a little high. So A.J. Ellis, who's done a tremendous job behind the plate, that's twice tonight that his throw has been high. A lower throw might have gotten the runner, but he couldn't get Fowler and it can't get Blackman. There's that high throw. Ellis had to go up, and that was the difference. Of course, you don't expect Ellis to continue throwing out 50%. That's what he was doing coming into this game. 1-2 the count. Breaking ball, a hopper to Uribe. That thing was hit hard. So with the ball hit ahead of him, Blackman had to hold. And it'll bring up Nicasio. Take another look. There goes the runner. You can see Ellis waiting, but he'll have to reach up there, and that's the difference. By the time he gets it down, Blackman is on the bag. So 1 out, 7th inning, 3-0 Colorado. Nicasio has struck out and bunted for his 7th sacrifice. And a strike. To look ahead, when the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 7th, it'll be Andre Ethier, A.J. Ellis, and then Mark Ellis. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Rockies, no runs, 2 hits for the Dodgers. 1-1. .85 pitches, 2 hits, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. One reason why Kershaw has more pitches, 9 strikeouts. 1-1. 1-2. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Down in the Dodger bullpen, the left-hander J.P. Howell begins to loosen up. Hadn't even started yet. Big breaking ball, but he missed it. 74 miles an hour. 2-2. Clayton came in with a record of 8-5 and an earned run average of 1.8. But he's down 3-0. Fastball got him. So Nicasio strikes out a second time. 10 strikeouts for Clayton, and the batter will be Dexter Fowler. A reminder, tomorrow, Baseball Night in America returns. The Rockies and Dodgers. Baseball Night in America begins Saturday at 4 p.m. Pacific on Fox. So here is Fowler. Single, stole a base, scored a run, and has struck out twice since. Runner in scoring position, Charlie Blackman. Roller to the left. Ramirez, nice pick, and gets him. No runs, a leadoff single, and a stolen base. We head to the bottom of the 7th, 3-0 Colorado. Bottom of the 7th inning, Dodgers on the outside looking in. It's been all Colorado and Juan Nicasio. 3 runs, 6 hits. Nicasio has not wasted a lot of pitches. He's only struck out 3. Kershaw, working hard because of his strikeout talent, has struck out 10. But the Dodger hitters so far have been completely shut down. For the Dodgers, Andre Ethier, A.J. Ellis, and then Mark Ellis. Bottom of the 7th inning, 3-0 Colorado. This is the 11th meeting of the year between the two clubs. They've split the previous 10. Rockies 3-3 at home and 2-2 here. Andre Ethier walked and flied to left, 0 for 1. And a strike. Only walk given up came to Ethier in the 2nd inning. Uribe was hit by a pitch. And the Dodgers have 2 hits, single by Schumacher, a double by Ramirez. Foul ball upstairs, 0-2 the count. Nicasio was sent down because he wasn't pitching very well. Boy, he has come back. Whatever happened in his brief trip to the minors, he's got it tonight. 0-2. Straightens up Rosario. One ball and 2 strikes. 88 pitches. Huffing and puffing a little bit. 2-2. Ethier slaps that one foul. So Andre is still there. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Last June, Nicasio was on the DL. He strained his left knee. He had to have arthroscopic surgery on the left knee. He's okay now. 2-2. Ball 3. A.J. Ellis waiting on deck. And a full count to Andre Ethier. Three and two. And there's a one hopper into right field. So Andre Ethier bangs one into right. Hit number 3 for the Dodgers. And A.J. Ellis will be coming up. Matt Belisle, veteran reliever, is up in the Rockies bullpen. Remember the Twitter poll question and results? Which National League pitcher should start the All-Star game? Well, yeah, I guess it's a tilted audience. 80% Kershaw. And then 16% Matt Harvey. Hey, we'll wait and see. Clayton right now not thinking about starting in the All-Star game. He's hoping to get some runs with Howell throwing in the bullpen, and he's due up 5th in the inning. One scoreless inning in relief in each of the last 2. So here's A.J. and ball 1. So Nicasio may be a little fatigued. He's up to 93 pitches. One ball and no strikes. Fastball fouled away, keeping it down. And still throwing 93, so there's still a little petrol in the tank out there for Nicasio. Arizona in a spot of trouble in the 8th inning. We'll tell you about it in a moment. Fastball hit in the air to right center. Fowler, however, has that on his radar screen. So it's a fly ball, and Ethier holds at first, 1 away. They're in the top of the 8th inning in Arizona. J.J. Putz has come on. He allowed a walk and a single while getting 2 out. And with men at first and second and 2 out, Tony Sipp, the left-hander from Mississippi, has come in to face Logan Schaefer. Logan Schaefer walks. That loads the bases with 2 outs. So Kirk Gibson calls in Heath Bell to face the pinch hitter, Martin Maldonado. D-backs trying to hang on, leading 2-1, top of the 8th. More in a moment. Mark Ellis skying one to left field, but that's going to wind up in Cargo's glove. So 2 out, and Juan Uribe coming up. Dodgers just unable to do anything with Nicasio. Uribe flied to right and hit by a pitch. Kershaw is due up next. So Clayton, not wearing a helmet, sitting with that valuable left arm wrapped in the towel. So that gives you an idea. He is not going to even go out in the on-deck circle. And ball 1. Down near the bat rack, Jerry Hairston looking at a bat and a helmet. And now here he comes. One ball and no strikes. In the dirt. Nice chest block by Rosario. 2-0. So Nicasio has been a little bit wilder than in any other inning here in the 7th. Could be a little fatigue. He's made 98 pitches. Ethier single, but A.J. Ellis and Mark Ellis didn't hang around. They just came up, swung, popped up. 2-0 to Uribe. 3-0 Rockies, 7th inning. Bouncer foul. Over in Arizona, with Martin Maldonado up there and the bases loaded, A.J. Pollock makes a diving catch on a sinking line drive in short center field. Milwaukee comes up empty. Arizona leads 2-1 going to the bottom of the 8th. A.J. Pollock, Alan Lorenz Pollock. Another great catch. The other night when we were in Arizona, A.J. Pollock made a diving catch in the 3rd inning of the marathon game. Took at least a double, and considering the fact it's 413 feet away in Arizona, if Pollock doesn't catch it, Mark Ellis would have had a triple. So he's quite a center fielder, A.J. Pollock. 2-2 to Juan Uribe. High bouncer behind the bag, and the feed by LeMahieu to Tulo, and that's that. So Ethier is forced, no runs, 1 hit, and at the end of 7, good night to Clayton Kershaw, 3-0 Colorado. Everything possible by your Southern California Toyota dealers and by CarMax. Start the search for your next car at CarMax. Dodgers make a double switch as we go to the 8th inning. Nick Punto will come into the game at the same time as the pitcher J.P. Howell. So looking at the Dodger lineup, Punto will bat 9th and play 3rd, and Howell will go into Uribe spot. That means Punto leads off in the bottom of the 8th inning. Nicasio, making 16 pitches, has now made 101, opposed to the 104 turned in by Clayton. So Nicasio looks like he's going to hang around and pitch some more. Kershaw's had to call it a night, and J.P. Howell now ready to work. One ball and no strikes. DJ LeMahieu single, grounded out, singled again, 2 hits, scored a run, knocked in one. A strike, 1-1. JP, that would be James Phillip. 3 runs, 6 hits for Colorado, no runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. We're in the 8th. LeMahieu, Gonzalez, Tulowitzki. Ground ball to the hole, backhanded by Hanley. The throw late, but on the money. Isn't that amazing how they can do that? He goes way into the hole and has to airmail it, and it's accurate. He just couldn't get there in time. Watch that. I mean, that's a long throw, and it's right there. But LeMahieu runs well and comes up with his 3rd hit. So LeMahieu has as many hits as the Dodgers, 3, and that'll bring up Carlos Gonzalez. Wonderful effort by Hanley Ramirez. Down in the Rockies bullpen, the Dodgers coming up have Punto, Schumacher, Van Slyke, and maybe Gonzalez, so they get a left-hander up, Rex Brothers. Carlos Gonzalez struck out 3 times against Kershaw. Runs up as if to bunt. 1 ball and no strikes. Carlos Gonzalez hitting 167, 1 for 6 in the past against Howell. Jose Dominguez up in the Dodger bullpen, hard throwing right-hander. Two and 0 the count to Gonzalez. The all-star left fielder, 0 for 3 tonight. He had 2 singles and a home run last night that almost went out of the ballpark. I think the ball landed, I would guess, the 5th row from the top in right field. 2 and 0. JP taking plenty of time. Well, he should, especially with Cargo at the plate. Gonzalez is 6'1", 210. And ball 3. Gonzalez has hit as many as 34 home runs and has knocked in as many as 117. Waiting on deck, hitting back of him, Troy Tulowitzki. So LeMahieu at first, and a 3-0 count on Gonzalez. Chicago really breaking out with 25 home runs before the All-Star game. And a strike. We mentioned it yesterday. Gonzalez will not participate in the home run derby. He has a bad finger, so he's bailed on that. Little roller foul. 3-2 the count. Gonzalez signed a 7-year deal in 2011. So he figures to have about 5 more years on that contract. 3-2. We'll see about LeMahieu. Very short lead. He is not going. And they get Gonzalez the 4th time. 4 strikeouts, 1 out. Looked like an off-speed breaking ball, and I think Gonzalez guessing 3-2 fastball, and he was way out in front of it. So it was a big pitch. Now let's see. The Dodgers might make another move. Howell is coming out, giving up a base hit and a strikeout. We saw Dominguez throwing in the pen. We'll be right back.
El Guinness International Champions Cup.
Number 1 source for live baseball everywhere you go. Available for iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry 10. At Bat delivers Dodger baseball with live audio, pitch tracking, stats, news, highlights, and more. So text At Bat to 31826 or visit Dodgers.com. For the record, let it be duly noted when Carlos Gonzalez struck out 4 times tonight. That is the 2nd time he's had one of those nights. Meanwhile, Jose Dominguez, the kid who throws so hard, he's got that fastball clocked to 100, has a slider that he's working on, and a changeup, which means everything to him. So here's Tulowitzki Tulo is 0 for 2 with a scoring fly ball. He struck out and grounded out. LeMahieu at first base with 1 out. And LeMahieu has stolen 11 out of 14. So we'll see if they run him. Fastball for ball 1. And that first pitch was clocked at 100. Well, they played 8 innings in Arizona. The D-backs 2 and Milwaukee 1. Tell you a little more about it in a moment. 1 ball and no strikes. Two and 0. That was 98. A.J. Pollock just missed a 2-run home run in the end of the 8th inning. Ball caught right at the wall. David Hernandez is called in to try to save it. And for the Brewers, it'll be the top of the order coming up. 2-1 Arizona, top of the 9th. 2-0 to Tulo with Rosario on deck. And that was the changeup. It dropped from his first pitch of 100 to 83. But more importantly, it was ball 3. Jose, despite those big numbers, about 165 pounds. Fastball for ball 4. So LeMahieu advances to second. First and second, and Rosario coming up. The paid attendance tonight. Beautiful evening, Friday night fireworks. 50,796. 50,796. Last night, 52,740. Hope you'll include us in your plans tomorrow afternoon and or Sunday. Willen Rosario came up in the first inning, got a pitch up, single to center, and that drove in LeMahieu, and that made it 2-0 in favor of the Rockies, and the Dodgers have not recovered yet. Rosario 1 for 3, and ball 1. Rosario had that single since then, popped to short and struck out. First man up for Milwaukee. Norichika Aoki flies to left field. 1 out. And that's hit in the air to right field. Van Slyke right there. Runners will hold. Great one hopper to third base. Whoa. So Van Slyke cuts one loose. Runners hold. 2 down. And the batter, Jordan Pacheco. Take another look. Airmailed. Perfect one hopper. Now the batter, Pacheco, grounded out, flied out, popped up. 0 for 3. So 2 on, 2 out. 8th inning. 3-0 Colorado. Runners moving, and Dominguez gets off the rubber. A.J. Ellis keeping the infield in the game. Pacheco hitting .233. LeMahieu at second. Tulowitzki at first. Boy, a dancing LeMahieu trying to distract young Dominguez. Well, Gene Segura, the brilliant shortstop for Milwaukee, just struck out. So 2 down in the 9th inning. Arizona leading Milwaukee 2-1. And again, Dominguez very concerned about LeMahieu. LeMahieu has stolen 11 out of 14. And with a right-hand hitter and Punto deep, he might think the door is open. And ball one. One thing that might temper LeMahieu is the thought you never make the last out at third base. And there are 2 out. One ball and no strikes. Fouled away. That staggered AJ. 1-1 to count. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 8th inning, it will be Nick Punto, followed by Skip Schumacher, and then Scott Van Slyke. If anybody gets on, Adrian Gonzalez. You know, the Dodgers have had 10 or more hits in 9 of their last 11 games. Ramirez to the bag. No play. Just to give LeMahieu something to think about. 1-1. And that hit him. And it was 98 miles an hour. So Pacheco hit by the pitch. They're going to check and make sure he's okay. Looks like it got him on the right forearm underneath. Boy, that really had to hurt. Tried to check the swing. That exposed the right arm. Walt Weiss has to be assured his young first baseman is okay. Well, he's able to grin. Rene Latchman coaching at first. Stu Cole over at third. Rick Honeycutt, meanwhile, out to counsel Dominguez. Charlie Blackmon, left-hand batter, coming up.
Right fielder, number 19.
So Dominguez came in, walked Tulowitzki, got Rosario on a fly ball to right, but then hit Pacheco. So the bases are loaded, 3-0 Colorado, trying to open it up. And Charlie Blackmon doubled, struck out, and singled. Way back in the 2nd inning, he had a 12-pitch at bat and fouled off 8 pitches against Kershaw before hitting a double. And fouled away. Carlos Gomez came up for Milwaukee. 2 out, bases empty in the 9th, and struck out. So the Diamondbacks beat the Brewers 2-1. The Brewers, by the way, went 1 for 12 with runners in scoring position and committed 2 errors to give Arizona the 2 runs. 0-1. That's in there. So the Dodgers said to Milwaukee, thanks a lot. So you have LeMahieu at third, Tulowitzki at second, Pacheco at first, and a 0-2 count. One and two. We always do it, so we'll look up young Dominguez. No wild pitches. I think he said give him the change. I don't know if he's going to change up. 1-2 the count. But Mattingly mentioned change. That's going to be the key pitch for him. First he has to establish the fastball and then the changeup. One and two. Fastball fouled away. And that was clocked, if our gun is right, 101. Over there in Arizona, winning that squeaker 2-1. Patrick Corbin was the victor. His record is now 11-1. J.P. Howell deep in thought after his brief stint. LeMahieu to Lewitsky, Pacheco all out on the lines. 2 out, 1-2 the count. Big moment for young Jose Dominguez. Now A.J. going out to talk to him. Blackman backs out for the moment, making young Dominguez wait. All right, 1 ball and 2 strikes, 2 out, bases loaded. Fastball, little roller to Mark Ellis. That'll be that. No runs, 1 hit, 3 left. We're heading to the bottom of the 8th, 3-0 Colorado. Do is the runs. Nicasio has not given up any. Clayton has given up 3. Clayton, as usual, striking out a bunch. He has 10, but it didn't do him any good because you can't get on the scoreboard with strikeouts. The Dodgers, again, have hit so well over the last 11 games. The fact that they're not hitting tonight is really further tribute to the job that Juan Nicasio turned in. But his job is finished now, because the Rockies make 2 changes. Rex Brothers, the left-hander, will take over in relief, and old friend Todd Helton down there at first base. Brothers has been dynamite in relief. He is without a doubt one of the better relievers in the game. Big boy out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. Went to Lipscomb University. Even 6, 210, and that's a strike to Punto. Nick came in the double switch. full swing foul upstairs. 0-2. That's a nice, easy 94-mile-an-hour fastball, too. We're in the 8th. Dodgers have been thoroughly shut down through 7. Another foul ball. Looking back over the innings, Dodgers had Ethier get to second, Ramirez get to second, Uribe get to second, and that's it. Dodgers have not had a man get to third. Punto, a late arrival, and Uribe out for the rest of the night. Paul Crawford unable to start. 0-2. 1-2 the count. Brothers graduated from Shelbyville High School in Tennessee. Best offer after visiting Vanderbilt, Tennessee State, came from Lipscomb. 2-2. In college one year, he had 132 strikeouts in 94 innings. So he's been able to throw very hard for a long time. His numbers this year: 18 walks, 39 strikeouts. 3-2. Dodgers will take anything to get started. Brothers' fastball has been clocked as high as 99. So Dominguez actually made one pitch that was clocked at 101. 3-2. And ball 4. In looking back over the box score, the Dodgers have only had one other leadoff man get on. That's when Ethier opened up the 7th inning with a single. So Punto is at first. Jerry Hairston coming out on deck. Hairston is going to bat for the left-hand hitting Schumacher. Jerry Hairston, as a pinch hitter, has been pretty valuable coming off the bench. 4 hits, run batted in, and hitting better than .500 against the Rockies. Hairston batting for Shoemaker, and then will stay in the game. Schumacher. First ball swinging, fouled away. Hairston last night started in left field. Had a walk, a single, and a double. 0-1 to Jerry, hitting .272. Punto at first, nobody out. (0-1). Fastball pulled back a third, quickly to second for one, over to first. Double play. I'll tell you what, if the first base umpire, Jim Joyce, really gave Helton one of those neighborhood plays, if you can look at that throw to first, and veteran first basemen do that all the time. I remember Gil Hodges was very good at it. They're going to get a force, but now watch Helton as he walks off to make the catch. That's a borderline play as to whether the first baseman is on the bag or has he stepped off. And he caught it and stepped off, and Joyce was really watching him carefully. So last night the Rockies turned in 3 double plays. Tonight they turn in 1, and the Dodgers now 2 out in the 8th inning. Van Slyke a strike. That was really a nice play by Arenado to start the double play. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Nolan got rid of that ball so quickly and accurately that they turned 2. And Helton at the other end of it. 1-2. Van Slyke had to play when Yasiel Puig grounded out twice and had to come out of the game. He's got a sore left hip. We first learned it was bothering him last night, and now there's strike 3 on Van Slyke. So the Dodgers shut down again in the 8th inning. And we're heading for the 9th. 3-0 Colorado. Think about it, it's quite an upset. Kershaw had to be a favorite over Nicasio, having just been called up from the minor league. And what was shocking immediately, the fact that Clayton gave up 2 runs in the first inning. First time since last year, and first time in 19 starts. So you knew right away this was going to be a little different. And then Nicasio, just called up from the minors, was brilliant. 7 innings, 3 hits, no runs. Dodgers lost Puig with a injured hip. He tried to play, took all kinds of exercises, 0 for 2 and came out. So whether he can play tomorrow remains to be seen. Jerry Hairston's now in left field. And the first pitch to Arenado fouled away. Arenado, who made a wonderful play to start that double play on the ball hit by Hairston. Dominguez made 14 pitches to come in relief in the 8th inning. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the 9th. Dodgers with Kershaw, Howell, and Dominguez. Ball 2. Jose is an even 6, 165. Arenado flied to center, walked, scored a run, grounded out. 2-2. That was 98. Boy, what a gift. Can't teach that. "22 years old. He'd be 23 in August." 3-2. When he was at Chattanooga before they brought him up, in 17 innings, he struck out 28. Fastball lifted to center. Ethier. So that takes care of Arenado and a fly ball.
First baseman, Todd Helton.
Todd Helton is hitting ninth. Remember that double switch with brothers. The great Todd Helton. Boy, what a career. Ball one. Todd, couple of hits last night. The old story, he'll be able to climb out of bed and get a base hit New Year's morning. 1-1. Todd certainly has been the franchise for Colorado. The years go flying by. Remember, it was such a headline when he signed a 9-year deal for over $140 million that would go through 2012. And I guess a lot of people thought, well, okay, by 2012 he'd have hung it up. Nope, here he is. And he's going to be 40 in August. He put up some huge numbers. 49 home runs, 147 runs batted in. What a tough hitter he was. Still is. 3-2. Todd out of Knoxville, Tennessee, went to the university, played quarterback, and then Peyton Manning came along. So he decided to stick with baseball. One of the players he admired, Don Mattingly, and the other, Rod Carew. And down he goes. So the kid throws one by him at 98. And Todd takes the seat. And with 2 out in the 9th inning, the batter is Mr. Fowler. Dexter began Clayton Kershaw's troubles in the first inning. He singled a left and promptly stole second. Eventually came home on a fly ball. Dexter 1 for 4. Strike. Switch hitter, so early in the game hitting right-handed against Kershaw. 0-1. And he changed up a little bit there. 1-1 the count. When the Dodgers come up in the bottom of the 9th, Adrian Gonzalez, Hanley Ramirez, Andre Ethier. Boom. Wow. 98, 98. Occasionally in the 80s to change up. One ball and 2 strikes. 2-2. Dexter Fowler is 6'4", so you have a pretty good strike zone. Fastball away. Baseball, like anything else in life, patience is a great virtue. The Rockies have been pretty much waiting on Dexter Fowler ever since he came up in 2008. And I would say he's just about there now. He's become a fine ball player. And ball 4. So you have Fowler, who runs the bases so well, and LeMahieu's coming up. When Fowler stole early in the first inning, he's now stolen 13 out of 15. So with 2 out, he's definitely a threat to go. LeMahieu single, grounded out, and then single twice more. So LeMahieu with 3 hits, hitting .279. 1 home run, 12 runs batted in. Fastball for a strike. It's amazing. You sit up here, he throws so effortlessly, and you look up, 98. Of course, the velocity is third. We've always talked about that. First location, second movement, then velocity. I mean, these are great hitters. You can't just throw and expect to get by on one pitch no matter how hard you throw. He's ahead of LeMahieu, however. No balls, 2 strikes. Oh, and 2. A little high with the fastball at 97. Boy, he lives in the high rent district. Outside of 2 pitches, one I think was 83 and the other 88. He's been 97 and up. Fowler waiting, looking for an opening. He's not going. And there's strike 3 called. 2 strikeouts in the inning for young Dominguez, and we're heading for the bottom of the 9th. 3-0 Colorado. Three to nothing Colorado. Rafael Betancourt will come in to try and close it up. And for the Dodgers, I'm sure they know down in the clubhouse the fact that Arizona held on and beat Milwaukee 2-1. So the Dodgers in danger, of course, of slipping back to 2.5. And for Colorado, they have a chance to get back to 3.5. And with 2 games left. So Rafael Betancourt, a veteran, originally signed with the Red Sox way back in 1993. He's from Cumana in Venezuela, 6'2", 215. Originally came up back in 93. He's been with the Rockies for the last 4 years. He had a long career with the Indians. So Rafael Betancourt, he'll be facing Adrian Gonzalez, Hanley Ramirez, and Andre Ethier. Adrian Gonzalez tonight fouled out, struck out, popped up, actually tried to bunt twice for a base hit, and now in the 9th inning they do not load up the right side. A traditional defensive alignment, and here we go. A chant begins, "Let's go Dodgers." They have not been able to go tonight, and that's a strike. 0-1. Adrian gives it one of those. That was a debatable call. No balls, 1 strike. Now Gonzalez in a hole, 0-2. And looking at Betancourt, he's 2-3, an ERA of a little under 3.5. 10 walks, 24 strikeouts. Oh, 2. Ball 1. Betancourt probably pulls on the bill of his cap before every pitch. Oh, that's about the 4th time he's done it. 5. He constantly does that. 1-2. And a shot up the middle, base hit. So Adrian Gonzalez opens up the 9th with a single. That means the last 3 innings, the Dodgers have gotten a leadoff man aboard after going 6 innings without getting a leadoff man on. The batter now is Hanley Ramirez. Flied to left, doubled, and grounded out. Crowd coming alive. 50,796 here tonight. Seen a tough ball game. Rockies, by the way, on the road have 1 shutout. They're trying for number 2 tonight. They've been shut out 6 times on the road. So here's Hanley. And ball 1. In case you're thinking about it, you might as well answer the question. Betancourt has allowed only 2 home runs. Pull on that bill of the cap. That's 3 times. It's more nervous reaction. In the old days, they think, wait a minute, there might be Vaseline or something underneath the bill. 1-1. How many times have you counted him pulling on the bill? 1 ball and 1 strike to Hanley Ramirez. Gonzalez at first, nobody out. 9th inning, 3-0 Colorado. Arizona 1. And that's fouled away.
Let's go, Dodgers.
1-2 the count to Hanley Ramirez. Andre Ethier on deck. Hanley loose, relaxed, smiling. And Betancourt fidgeting, as is his wont. I keep thinking of Fred Haney, who managed Milwaukee and Boston, and they had Lou Burdette. And Fred said Burdette would make coffee nervous. When you watch Betancourt, I think he would make Coffey nervous. 1-2. Two and two. Fastball up and in. For Betancourt, he's not going to throw 100, but they say that his pitches have wonderful movement. Two balls, two strikes. And a high fly ball into center. Back goes Fowler on the track at the wall to make the catch. So a long out for Hanley. Adrian holds at first. And we have one out in the ninth inning. A reminder, Dodgers Live coming up right after the game. So now the batter is Andre Ethier. Ethier walk, fly to left, single to right. 1 for 2. 3 runs, 7 hits for Colorado. No runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. For Don Mattingly, Trey Hillman, and the rest of the Brain Trust, they've been shut out twice at home all year, a total of 5 times, including the road. Dodgers at home usually are the ones who shut the other club out. They were 7-2 in shutouts at home. So here's Ethier with A.J. Ellis on deck. And ball 1. Dodgers no runs, 4 hits. They have not been able to get a man to third base tonight. And that's in there. Took a lot off that. Off speed. 1-1. Basically fastball, curveball, and change. A.J. Ellis waiting his turn. One and one. Fastball in there. 1-2. Dodgers began the night 1 game above 500. Rockies began the night 5 games under 500. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Messrs. Nicasio, Brothers, and Betancourt doing quite a job. Fastball fouled away. Got it back up to 90. Dodgers with 4 hits. Schumacher had a single. Gonzalez a single. Ramirez a double. And Ethier a single. And that's been the attack, despite the cheers of the little ones. They've not been able to shake anything loose. Breaking ball hit to the gap, but it's hanging. And it's going to be caught. Nice play by Charlie Blackmon. And back to first base, Adrian Gonzalez. So the Dodgers down to their last out. A.J. Ellis coming up. A.J. grounded to short, flied to right, flied to center. Remember the pitching tomorrow afternoon on Big Fox. Zach Greinke, and Tyler Chatwood. And then we'll be back Sunday on Prime Ticket. Ulysses Chassin and Ricky Nolasco. There goes the runner. Gonzalez, defensive indifference, so no stolen base. 0-1. On deck, Mark Ellis. No balls, 1 strike. In the dirt. Goes to the backstop. Adrian advances to third. Pretty sure that's a wild pitch. So the Dodgers, for the first time tonight, get a man to third base. And it took defensive indifference and then a wild pitch. So Walt Weiss, watching his ball club, trying to hold on 3-0. A.J. Ellis 0 for 3. 2 down in the 9th, 3-0 in favor of the Colorado Rockies. They scored 2 in the first, picked up another in the 5th, and got magnificent pitching from Nicasio and Brothers right up to Betancourt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Fastball at 91, fouled away. 1-2 to AJ. I guess 2 things about the night kind of told you something was different. The fact that the Rockies scored 2 runs in the first inning against Kershaw, and the fact the Rockies had 2 stolen bases. 1-2. Remember, coming into the game, A.J. Ellis had caught 50% of the base running. Virtually impossible to keep that up all year. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, 3-0 Colorado. Trying to win their 6th in 11 meetings with the Dodgers. And a fly ball, very playable. Dexter Fowler is there. So a leadoff single and 3 harmless fly balls, and the Dodgers are done. 3-7-0 for Colorado. No runs, 4 hits, no errors for the Dodgers. Kind of an upset going in for sure. The thought that Juan Nicasio would outpitch Clayton Kershaw, but that, of course, is the interest in baseball. Stay tuned to Dodgers Live coming up next. Good night, everybody.